The VolQuest 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Craven Wings.
Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price. Craven Wings 2-Minute Drill on this Tuesday. Don't forget, tomorrow is Wing Ding Wednesday. There's a great deal on wings at all three Craven Wings locations. Brent got to listen to Brian Jean-Marie, Joey Halsley, and then a couple of players today. A lot of praise for the defensive line and the work they've been getting done.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that was the catalyst for Tennessee's ability to stop the run against Kentucky. We talked about it, defensive penetration. A little bit of a different challenge this week because I think Georgia's backs, particularly McIntosh, is more of a factor in the passing game. Kentucky wanted to play in a box, right? They didn't want to bounce it. There wasn't a lot of outside runs. It was a lot of off-tackle stuff. Georgia's more comfortable bouncing it, so Tennessee's going to have to rally to the ball and tackle well. But there's no doubt it starts with this defensive front, and that's why Tennessee is vastly improved in stopping the run, because this defensive front is playing the run much better.
One player who's shown improvement, not only on the D-line, but just overall, is Wesley Walker, who had a really solid game Saturday against Kentucky. Might we see him more this week? I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, how Tennessee is going to rotate in the secondary, we talked about yesterday, and we'll talk about it all week. Will be interesting to see. Wesley Walker's familiar with Georgia. He's played against Georgia multiple times when he was at Georgia Tech, so he's got a pretty good understanding of what Georgia likes to do offensively, which probably helps him a little bit. But how do they play the corners? How do they play the nickel position? How do they play the safety spots? Do they rotate? Are they going to settle in with five guys? I think that's going to be really interesting. I think you're going to see Flowers and McCullough, but I think you could see a rotation at the nickel spot, and then they may rotate some at corner. But you got to play Slaughter, right? And Wesley Walker, I think, certainly could make a case he should have gotten more reps throughout the year with his tackling ability. Can he play as well in space as McDonald at the nickel spot? I don't know. I don't know that we've gotten a full sample size of that, but I think Wesley Walker's experience helps him a lot in a game like this.
Flip it to the offensive side. It really is pick your poison, and Jalen Hyatt kind of alluded to that today. You know, Cedric Tillman, Brew McCoy, Jalen Hyatt. Try to stop all three. They'll run the ball on you. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Georgia does. Do they, put an extra DB, which will, put them a little lighter? You're already lighter without Nolan Smith, and put him in lighter without a linebacker in the front seven.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to play nickel? Are they going to play dime? Kind of what is your poison? How do you want to attack Tennessee? The one thing Kirby Smart said, and I think a lot of people are really taking notice of, is Tennessee's ability to run the football. And that changes how you attack Tennessee. I mean, a year ago in this game, I think Tennessee rushed for 50 yards or 55 yards, averaged less than 2 yards a carry. They were a non-factor running the football. If Tennessee could run the football against Georgia, and then looking at Georgia, their run stats are good. When you hold Samford to 19 yards, that kind of changes your average a little bit. They've had three teams rush for over 100 yards. Florida got 100 yards on them. Oregon had 140 yards in week one. Missouri had 102 yards on them. So they haven't been nearly as dominant against the run as they were a year ago against better opponents. Can Tennessee run it effectively? If they can, man, they're hard to stop, because there's your two-headed monster. No offense to Jalen Hyatt, but the run game versus the pass game, having to figure out what to stop is a real challenge for defensive coordinators.
He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price, and this has been the Craven Wings 2-Minute Drill.
When you're craving wings, it's got to be Craven Wings. Online at cravenwings.com.